Here that is a Briggs & Stratton engine. This is gonna be similar on most push mowers, but basically it's not starting and or not staying started for a while. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace out the carburetor. So I got myself a new carburetor here on Amazon. What you want to do is just search for your model. Most of them are Briggs & Stratton engines unless it's a Honda, but it says gold engine series. You need to know this, 190 cc, 6.75 foot-pounds of torque. So that information will allow you to find the one that you need. And so I have that right here. And you're just going to need basic tools to do this. So in here it came with your gasket. It came with a little cool, the little spring that moves the governor back and forth. So that's nice too. I got two fuel filters, which you don't really even need, but they give it to you anyway. I got a spark plug and I got the carburetor, all for like 14 bucks. I even got other gaskets here as well. So here's the new carburetor, and yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and take this apart and put it together. So your carburetor is usually right behind your air box. I already loosened this up here, so I'm able to just twist this off here, this little screw behind my air box. There was another kit, but it was gonna take longer to get here, that came with an air filter also. So that's one thing you want to check. I could probably use an air filter because this isn't the cleanest, but it'll do for now. So put my air filter aside, pull my little cover off, and then I got two bolts here which I need to take off for the air box, and then behind that is my carburetor. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these two screws off to get access to the carburetor. I mentioned the two screws, was actually three, one here, one here, one here. Each model's gonna be a little bit different, but you take these three screws off your air box. Air box should come right off. I have this other little piece of plastic there, but yep, there's my carburetor, and it's kind of ugly and gross. So like I said, I'm just replacing this entire carburetor, and that should do the trick for me. So let me show you how to do that. First, I'm gonna take this hose off, but you wanna make sure you don't have a lot of gas in here, or crimp this hose off, which is what I can do with this pair of pliers here. So I can crimp this off so that gas won't flow back in here if I have some here. If not, also I recommend getting your tank and your filler tank and dumping your gas into your filler tank so you don't have gas going back there. Then we'll take this guy off. I'm also going to line this up and make sure I know where my springs are. Right there's one spring, there's my other spring right there, and I'm going to pull this guy then completely out. I got all the gas out. There's one bolt here, 10 millimeter, to hold on the carburetor, one over here, which is going to be the same thing you see on your replacement carburetor right there, over here, and over there. So I'm going to loosen those up, take this off. I'm also going to pay attention to where these governor wires are, and I'm also going to replace those as well because it came with them, so I may as well go with new ones. So the one clips into here, which would be this guy up here, and then the other one goes around in the back where this governor is, which comes out here into there and then onto the other side. So make sure you kind of look at yours and see how that's set up, and make sure you record it if you need to. All right, so also on the top of this governor and spring setup is a little nut there that has to come off to go onto here, and again that's going to go over on this one, so I have to unscrew this guy as well, and that's what's going to allow me to take this whole thing off. So allow me to take this thing completely off of here so that I can put it on here, and that's important. Just line everything up on your old one and new one. To take these off, as I said, you just unscrew this guy here, which is that guy right there on the top of the carburetor. That just allows this one to come completely off, which was facing to the right. And then in the back here, you have this spring, which you have to basically turn it up this way in order to pull it out. And so essentially this front piece, this front hole right here, had to come out this way and then off. So putting it back on the same way, we're just gonna go over here, turn this sideways, put that in the hole, and then drop that down, and that'll hold in place. So I'll do that real quick. Let's see if it says recording the time. Oh yeah. So I put my fuel hose on there, which was real easy. Just use my pliers to put my clamp back in place, And so that's good there. Made sure my 2 bolts in the back were nice and tight. Gaskets were lined up. Go ahead and tighten this bolt on the top all the way down. Now the only thing else I have to do is reassemble my air box. And so I'm gonna clean this up. The other thing I need to do on the front of this is I need to align my gasket the way this is, and obviously you can see here the bottom is flat and the 2 sides are like that. So I'll put my gasket on here. Put that aside for a minute because I need to get my air box on in order to do that. But I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, clean up some of the junk I have on the back, so I'm making a nice clean surface to a clean surface. Alright, so now I'm putting my screws into where the air box is going to go to the carburetor, and then on the other side I'm going to put my gasket, again facing downward like this, so I'm in the right place, and then I can easily just put that right across my carburetor and then hand tighten it to start. Make sure I'm in there. You don't want to strip it, so you go nice and easy. Once I got those in hand tight, then I'll screw them down the whole way where they need to be. So I got one there, and then my third one went up over here. Clean that off a little bit. Get that on there. These don't need to be super tight. What I do love is my little Harbor Freight tool here. I've done a review on this guy, and this thing's great because you can put different size ratchets on either side. And just have it on there nicely. It doesn't have to be super snug. Now I gotta put this little carburetor air cover thing right back on. Line that up, clip that in. That's easy enough. Take the other end of my air box, drop that on here. Also, I recommend cleaning this out. Drop that on there, put my air filter in there, and then close it up. Fill up my gas, and we'll give it a shot in a second. Hey. All right, so here's our moment of truth right now. We're just gonna go ahead and try to fire this guy up. So that's all you really need to do. It's only about 15-20 minutes it took me to do that. Sometimes it's easier, and nowadays with Amazon it's cheaper to just go on and buy another carburetor. Some kits are $20, have a few other things. This one was like $13.99. For that price, just slap on a new carburetor and off to the races. Thanks for watching this. Please give a thumbs up if you liked it. Share your experiences in the comments below, and definitely subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.